Hello there. I hope you are having a great day so far. I am really looking forward to diving into 5 strategies backed by research that we can use when targeting following directions. I hope that you'll walk away with a boost of confidence and maybe a thing or two that you can try. We all know how critical following directions are to being able to access their curriculum, even if they're on the playground and their peers are teaching them to play a game. There's so many important social, academic, and safety benefits to targeting this skill. So we are going to dive into 5 strategies. Strategy number 1 is to start with a thorough assessment. This is critical because we need to identify the underlying skills that a student is struggling with or that need support. It might be a vocabulary issue or a syntax issue or a working memory issue or some other aspect of executive function. We want to do a differential assessment to determine which of those apply. You can do this using a differential assessment. I have one in SLP now that helps you break down if it is more of a vocabulary issue, a syntax issue. Not all one-step directions are created equal, and the same applies to 2 and 3-step. We're increasing the complexity when we're moving from 1 to 2 to 3. But there's a lot of different syntax that can be in those different types of vocabulary that students might struggle with. The research shows that all of those elements are important and play a role in how students are able to follow directions. A differential assessment is really good at piecing apart whether it is vocabulary, syntax, working memory, et cetera. But we can also do a dynamic assessment where we teach some strategies and see if that makes a difference, or provide different types of cueing and see if that improves the student's ability to follow the directions. We can also do classroom observations or collect parent-teacher feedback and get some more context in terms of how this is showing up across the school day. And strategy number 2 is to incorporate movement. Pairing language with movement-based activities has been found to help the language learning process. Movement engages multiple cognitive systems, which can help boost comprehension, retention, and all of that. So some examples of what this could look like, we could set up a little obstacle course in the speech room where we could use that to work on multi-step directions. Or we can do scavenger hunts or Simon Says types of games. If we have students practicing directions with movement and engaging those multiple systems to help really work on that skill. Strategy 3 is to teach and model strategies. And there are a lot of different strategies that we could use in SLP now. The skill pack for following directions includes some little strategy cards that we can share with the student. We have some little cards for students to use to remind them of different strategies to help them follow directions. Some things we can do are rehearsing their direction, repeating it, visualizing as they're hearing the direction, making a little movie in their head, drawing quick icons, like the example I gave earlier, touch your nose and then sit down. Maybe they just do a quick little nose picture and then an arrow to remind them to sit down. Especially if you're giving more directions, using that icon drawing can be helpful. Teaching them to ask for clarification. Those are just a couple examples of strategies that we can teach to students to support them with following directions. If we identify that it's a vocabulary issue or a syntax issue, we obviously want to target those as well. But giving our students strategies can help if it is more of the working memory and executive function. So those are just a few strategies. Again, the blog post will include more details on things that we can teach students to help them. And then strategy number 4 is to share strategies with teachers. I have a visual in the following direction skill pack that includes those strategies as well. This will help with generalization and support. Like we might write accommodations for these students to help set them up for success in the classroom. So teachers might incorporate visuals or checklists or chunking their directions. Instead of giving 10 directions at once, they practice giving 2 or 3 steps at a time, or modeling the strategies, reminding the students to use their strategies. So there's lots of things that we can do to support students indirectly by working with teachers. And the 5th strategy is to plan for generalization from the start. What happens in the speech room should not stay in the speech room. It doesn't matter if a student can follow a 20-step direction in the speech room if it's not moving into the classroom. And so we want to make sure that we're embedding directions in functional, contextualized activities and being intentional with how we're targeting these goals. It's something that we need to think about from the start. How can we target this goal in a way that will set students up for success? I like to use literacy-based activities that are contextualized. We can do crafts, science experiments, real-life tasks, practice their classroom routines if there are common ones they struggle with, thinking about the context they'll be using these skills in and strategies they can use to help them in the classroom, on the playground, whatnot. And then also coordinating with teachers and parents and other members of the team to make sure that we're all on the same page and all helping the student master this skill. Hopefully, one of these strategies sparked a new idea for you. Go ahead and jot down one that you'd like to try using, and then check the show notes for a link to the blog post with all of the details. I mentioned the Following Directions skill pack. This is available in the SLP Now materials library. If you're a member, just type in Following Directions and you'll get to download that skill pack. If you are new to SLP Now, you can sign up for a free trial and download this skill pack for free. Your free trial includes 5 downloads. So you can get $100 of free materials, no strings attached, no credit card required. I just want to make sure that you have access to awesome materials and that you're able to easily implement these evidence-backed strategies and have high quality materials to help make your job a little bit easier. That is a wrap on our strategies for following directions. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon.